Hello YouTube and welcome back to Yassi Lap Guides. My name is Foch and today we are back in action. New year, new season, new car. We are in the Porsche 911 and 992. The brand new, somewhat brand new Porsche. Driving on Kyalami. So the Porsche, definitely one of the least beginner-friendly cars in the sim. Requires quite a vast amount of experience to make this thing work like you want. Has a lot of weird quirks and arguably drawbacks that are compensated by very strong torque and good acceleration, good rotation. Slightly lacking in the top speed, but it's nowhere nearly as bad in that regard as 991. But you do have to pay quite a heavy price for it. Mainly, the electronics are not the greatest. The ABS especially leaves a lot to be desired. There are some ways that I found around that, running very low ABS and some other things in the setup, as well as the rear tires do tend to overheat quite badly in this car, making it quite a lot worse for race distances, especially in hot weather compared to quali. But generally the driving experience is very dynamic, which makes up for a lot of those drawbacks for a lot of drivers. Can't say that I'm in love with the car, but we have a whole season ahead of us to get used to it and see what we can get out of it. But let's start with Kyalami. So turn 1, looking for a 100-meter board, braking roughly like 10 meters, 5 meters before it. You can see the white lines on the road as well if the boards get destroyed. Trying to set up here now for the left-hander coming ahead. There's a wider patch of tarmac on the racing line there, which after which we brake, downshift to second for more stability. For this corner, we are turning in, then braking down to fourth. Try to not go in the grass on the apex. Here we're braking a little bit after 50 meters. The brakes are really good. Short shift to third, slightly slower usually than second, but our tires are cold. Here we're braking in after the turn in as well, and as you can see, the rear definitely wants to step out on the somewhat cold tires still. For this corner, we're braking a little bit after the Marshall post, and can short shift to second for the exit. And now the back straight. Trying to open up the line as much as we can cut a little bit on the inside, braking a little bit before the 100-meter mark. Once again, there is the white line on the left side. And now Cheetah, one of the more tricky corners with a Porsche. Just a slight lift is enough, and here we're braking like a car length before the 50-meter board. Once again, short shift to second. And that is a lap guide of Kyalami. So here's my setup, still quite new in the Porsche journey, running a little bit of negative toe, which you probably need to get rid of for race setup. This car does vary quite a lot in the race and quali sets. TC1, TC2 as well. Probably the best results is with TC0, but if you're heavy-footed like myself, then TC11 seems to prevent those really annoying long slides on traction control. ABS1 as well, as I mentioned before. And mechanical grip, a little bit of spring, not too much. Probably can get slightly faster times with a bit more bump stop range, but then the car becomes quite a lot more difficult to drive. As you can see, we have quite a weird setting here. Brake power at 90%, which makes little sense until you really think about it. This car has insane brakes, and you're also kind of forced to run really low brake bias due to the engine being in the back, which really upsets the ABS system, and I found myself just getting better brake performance at 90%. Rest of it, kind of standard. A lot of rear spring though, and dampers are pretty standard for the current meta. Could maybe go to the lowest bump and rebound. And aero-wise, running quite a bit of rake, full wing, and one of the rare cars where you want more brake ducts on the rear always than the front. If I had to make this into a race setup, I'm not sure if I can really justify going down on the rake, as the setup isn't really that sketchy, but probably go a lower on the toe and maybe one click up on the roll bar. And that is how I would approach this car. Still learning, so we're gonna improve along the way. But for now, I'll leave you with a hot lap and see you on the next one.